It was supposed to be a lighthearted moment on The Daily Show, but instead, Meghan Markle walked straight into a storm of embarrassment. While sitting in the audience, she pressed Tan France, the celebrated fashion guru, for more tips about style and wardrobe tips she has been accused of begging for in every public space she enters. But before Tan could even answer, Jon Stewart jumped in with his razor-sharp wit, leaving Meghan humiliated in front of everyone. Stewart didn't hold back, poking fun at her constant obsession with appearances, while slyly pointing out the absurdity of someone who claims to be a humanitarian, yet seems perpetually fixated on designer labels and surface-level image. The crowd erupted, and Meghan was left red-faced, once again proving she has no sense of self-awareness. What makes this moment sting even more for Meghan is that Stewart wasn't simply making a joke, he was saying out loud what so many already think. Meghan has long branded herself as someone fighting for causes, but her repeated desperation for validation in the fashion world only undermines that narrative. Here is a woman who left the royal family supposedly to live freely, yet every move she makes screams of someone trying far too hard to be seen and adored. Stewart's mockery cut deep because it rang true. Meghan's priorities are glaring, and they have very little to do with the noble image she tries so hard to sell. Even more telling was the audience's reaction. They laughed with Stewart, not with Meghan. That difference is crucial. It revealed how public opinion continues to shift against her. Instead of being admired as a strong, independent voice, Meghan has become a running joke and easy punchline for late-night television. Stewart merely highlighted what has already become obvious. Meghan is out of touch, clinging to an image of glamour while ignoring the substance she pretends to stand for. Every fashion tip she begs for only reinforces her shallow reputation. And let's be clear, this wasn't an isolated slip. Meghan's pattern of behavior has been the same for years. Spotlight chasing, validation seeking, and always desperate for approval from Hollywood's elite. Stewart's barb didn't come out of thin air. It was a direct reflection of her track record. From clumsy red carpet appearances to tone-deaf podcast episodes, Meghan has consistently shown that her priority is image over integrity. Stewart simply said what others whisper behind closed doors, that Meghan Markle is more concerned with her wardrobe than with the real-world issues she claims to champion. The humiliation Meghan faced on The Daily Show will linger because it exposed the gap between her carefully crafted brand and the reality everyone else sees. Stewart's sharp humor acted as a mirror, and Meghan didn't like what she saw. For someone who thrives on controlling narratives, the unscripted nature of this takedown is damaging. It wasn't an article she could dismiss, nor was it a critic she could ignore. It was a live moment, raw and undeniable, and it revealed how quickly she crumbles when confronted with truth wrapped in comedy. In the end, what Stewart delivered wasn't just a joke, it was a cultural verdict. Meghan Markle is not the icon she imagines herself to be. She's a figure of ridicule, a woman chasing approval in industries that have already moved past her. The fashion world, the entertainment world, and even late-night comedy have collectively grown tired of the act. Meghan's constant begging for validation only feeds the ridicule, and Stewart's brutal punchline was simply the latest and perhaps most public confirmation of that fact. Meghan's constant begging for validation only feeds the ridicule, and Stewart's brutal punchline was simply the latest and perhaps most public confirmation of that fact. But what made this particular moment sting so deeply is that Stewart didn't even need to exaggerate, he simply pointed out what everyone already sees. Meghan's fixation on fashion advice, her desperate attempts to be noticed by tastemakers, and her inability to project confidence without external approval are glaringly obvious. When a comedian can effortlessly expose those flaws in a single strike, it tells you just how fragile the image she's been trying to maintain really is. The irony here is unmistakable. Meghan positions herself as a role model for independence and self-empowerment, yet every time she speaks, she reveals her dependence on others for affirmation. Stewart's takedown highlighted that contradiction in real time, and it left her with no way out. This wasn't royal gossip or tabloid speculation, this was an unscripted, televised moment that stripped away the layers of PR polish. And once again, Meghan Markle walked away looking less like a global changemaker and more like a caricature of insecurity.